Glad to be with you on the Gallo Radio Show on SuperTalk, Mississippi. We are shifting gears. We are going away from emergency management conversation. We're going away from politics. Let's talk some music. Tonight in Jackson at Duling Hall, North Mississippi Allstars will be taking the stage, and Luther Dickinson is kind enough to spend a few minutes with us this morning. Luther, appreciate your time. I was a freshman at Ole Miss in the fall of 1999, and I remember that spring there being a buzz with, hey, North Mississippi Allstars, they're going to be on TV tonight. It was Conan O'Brien in 2000. I guess that was about 4 years after you guys formed the band. What a journey it's been since then.
Oh, man, it's 25 years coming up. It's such an honor, you know. We're so fortunate and so grateful. You know, and we always pay reverence to the music and to the elders, you know, our father, Otha Turner, R.L. Burnside, Junior Kimbrough. That, you know, it's an honest trade. It's an honest way to make a living.
So, you know, Wikipedia doesn't always tell the truth, but there's a line there that says, when you guys started North Mississippi Allstars, the goal was to combine blues and bluegrass with rock and other modern forms of music. Did you guys really think all of that out when you started and said, this is what we want to be? Or was it just about making good music?
No, and bluegrass was never played a part in it.
Okay. See, Wikipedia's wrong again.
Yeah, maybe 5% on certain vocal harmonies, but very little influence, decidedly so. No, we grew up around our father and his community in Memphis, like around Memphis. We lived in Rossville, Tennessee till I was 12. Then we moved to Hernando, Mississippi when I was 12, and we grew up. And, you know, we liked all types of music, rock and roll. And we knew the blues because it was our father's music. It was his experience, you know. He played with Bucka White and Fred McDowell and Sleepy John Estes and Furry Lewis. But in the mid-'90s, we got turned on to Junior Kimbrough's Juke Joint and R.L. Burnside and Cedric Burnside and Kenny Brown tearing it up. And the Hill Country, North Mississippi music, man, it was on fire. Otha Turner and the Rising Star Fife and Drum Band, I had been friends with them. And he's actually who took me to juniors for the first time. But once I realized, like, wait a minute, there's modern-day, multi-generational blues right in my neighborhood, in my backyard. It blew my mind and changed my whole life. And I was just fascinated with those musicians and also Mississippi Fred McDowell, who died right before I was born. But my parents carried me to the funeral in utero.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I was just fascinated with hill country music, and we started the band as a loose collective of people from the area who liked this repertoire.
Visiting with Luther Dickinson of North Mississippi Allstars are playing at Duling Hall in Jackson tonight. You can still try and grab tickets if they are available. Know that the guys would love to see you there. I'm assuming that every band that is formed has dreams of making it, you know, however you define making it to the big time. But that's not reality for a lot of bands. When did that become reality for you guys, that you were going to make it, that this wasn't something that was just for fun? It wasn't something where you were hoping to just scratch out a little bit of a living. This was going to be your life's work.
Well, I knew I was going to be a musician one way or another, you know, doing our own thing or working for someone else. I was never good at anything else. That wasn't a question. I was going to, whatever it took to, you know, to make a living with a guitar in my hand. But as soon as, it's funny, we had other bands growing up, DDT, Dickinson, you know, we were just experimental, loud rock and roll. It was awful. And nobody cared, rightfully so. But as soon as we started North Mississippi, it just became a gradual ascent. Our very first show in Memphis with Otha and R.L. Burnside, for the first time, we had a packed dance floor, you know.
Where was that first show?
That was at the Antenna Club, the world-famous Antenna Club, the punk rock club on Madison Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee.
The Antenna Club. I love it. When you think about the venues that you've played, and I'm just going to randomly pick out one that I know you've played a couple of times, Red Rocks, so iconic there in Colorado between Denver and Vail. But venues all over the world. Is there a particular show or a particular venue that stands out for you that you step back and you look and you're like, man, that was cool. We were on, the crowd was on, everything was right that night.
Yeah, that Red Rocks is a good one. There was a show in Spain, the first time we ever played in Spain. I love Spain. That audience is really, 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 really passionate and enthusiastic. It's easier to remember the ones that never go well, like the great festival in England, Glastonbury. We played it twice, and every time we play it, no one is there. It's just crickets. Last time we played it, we were so excited to go back, and we were slotted. We played at the same time as Dolly Parton, who had the highest populated show in Glastonbury history. So for some reason, it's easier to remember those.
That's like a football coach that says, yeah, the losses are the ones that stand out, right? I mean, you can have all these high moments, but it's the one where it didn't go right that it really stands out. But who's going to compete against Dolly, though?
I know. It came to me, Bonnaroo, the Hill Country Review with our father and R.L. Burnside and JoJo Herman, the Hill Country Review performance in Bonnaroo. At Bonnaroo, that was it. That was the pinnacle of the concept. Because we had Dwayne Burnside, had our father, R.L. Burnside, JoJo. We had Otha Turner's grandsons. The 3 generations of Hill Country musicians. And we recorded it. It's a live album. And that is the one. It was a great festival performance. So that was it, the pinnacle of the original concept.
You released your 13th album, I think it was, late in 2022, touring right now. What's been the response as you have grown, evolved, matured as a band, as musicians, but you've kind of stayed true to your core and to the original concept?
Well, our live presentation, we always play at least a third, if not half, of our first record. The Hill Country repertoire is still what people want to hear us do. And then but we're always writing songs and finding new songs and doing new things. So our shows are usually half traditional all-star material and traditional, and then half whatever we're up to right now.
Yeah. Is there a frustration as a musician when fans want you to play the hits, but you're like, yeah, but we've got this too, and I want to share this with you also? No,
I don't think so, because, it's the service. We're there to please, and I'm just glad they want to hear the song, Anytime someone shouts out a request, I try to do it if I think we can. No, I do not mind that at all. I appreciate that. I appreciate those songs. It's an indulgence. I think people want to hear whatever you're into at that moment, and it's indulgent to say that you're there just to express yourself, you're there to, you're hosting a party, and it's, people want the hors d'oeuvres and cocktails that they know, they don't want to be trying new stuff all the time.
Yeah. I was watching an interview not too long ago with Zach Brown of the Zach Brown Band, and he was talking about philosophically what he believes in terms of music and things that he wanted to do to continue to evolve their shows. And he was talking about the Sphere in Las Vegas, and he said, "Look, I'm not trying to be like a short time musician. I want a career that endures." He referenced the Rolling Stones and some other bands that have had really, really long careers. You mentioned a second ago, 25 years, quarter of a century doing this. Where do you stand on that? Is it, okay, there's going to be a day where we say we're good, or no, this is what we're going to do because it's what we love?
Oh, this is it. I mean, I was laughing with JoJo Herman about it just yesterday. It's like, come on, man, we don't get to retire. We're musicians, I mean, even if I'm playing acoustic guitar in a coffee shop somewhere. But the thing is, I owe it. Okay, when I was a youngster, my father, his friends in Memphis, R.L. Burnside, Otha Turner, Junior Kimbrough's family, all the elders that passed their knowledge and songs and expertise on to me, and I was very fortunate with that, I mean, I was open to it, and I seeked it out, and the elders were so generous and took me under their wings time after time. And so I owe it not only to pay reverence to their repertoire and keep their music alive, but to always be there as an example for younger generations to pass it on, you know?
That's awesome, man. Tickets are available for tonight. You can go to the North Mississippi Allstars website and link to it, or go directly to Ticketmaster there at Dueling Hall in Jackson tonight. Luther, really appreciate your time. Man, the story of North Mississippi Allstars, your success is so incredible, and wish you nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you so much for the support, man. It's great to be on the radio. It's a rare thing. Thank you.
Next time you got to bring a guitar, though. We got to hook it up where we get a little guitar going with it.
I got one in my hands right now.
I love it. Luther Dickinson, North Mississippi Allstars. We'll take a time out. This is the Gallo Radio Show.